Okay, good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing today? Hi Chisom, hi Obami, hi
Hi,
Hike.
um,
How you guys
Hi, I'm
doing?
Larry.
good
Very well,
afternoon,
thank you.
everyone.
Good to have you guys on board. Thank you for taking out time to join this session. Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
so pretty much um, we are here to help. We are here to try as much as possible to provide help or tips, information to job seekers. You hear a lot of um, conversations around I've been applying for jobs, no feedback, and all of that. So we are here to assist with that. All right. So I think comments are already dropping, and you guys are joining the call already. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you. You can share the link with your friends so they can join us as well. It promises to be an impactful session, right? So, and then we also here to take your questions. You've got any questions in mind, please feel free to drop your questions in the comment box, and then we've got experts in the room to do justice to your question. So yeah, so going forward, I'm going to be introducing our speakers one after the other, and then we will kickstart from there. So once again, my name is Damilari. I'm a senior recruitment consultant working with Jobberman Nigeria, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's session. All right, you guys are supposed to clap for me, oh, but no problem. Let's move on.
Drum
All
roll.
right, so drum roll. So our first speaker, it's aka Wang, is the talent acquisition lead at First Bank of Nigeria.
Nigeria.
We also have Chisom Nwosu. Chisom Nwosu is a senior recruitment consultant with Jobberman Nigeria as well. And then we've got Ayo Ade. She's a technical sourcer and recruiter currently working with Talent QL, right? Talent QL.
Yes.
So thank you guys once again for joining the call. And
Thank you.
so let's proceed, right? Let's just jump straight into the session because of our time. So really, the session once again is Ask HR Job Seeker LinkedIn session. The topic is on recruiters hangout, insider secret to getting hired, and that is what we're going to be talking about. You've heard stuff around insider secrets, insider information. You need this information to be able to cross over to the other side, right? Some companies, you can't just get into some organizations without having certain information, even if you're strong, you're a good candidate and all of that. So we are here as expert professionals to provide these informations to you guys, right? And then we've also taken our time to compile list of questions that we've gotten from job seekers over time. And then we're also going to be treating those questions and then also treat questions that we'll be dropping in the comment box. Yeah, so let's start with our first question. And then first question is what is the most important foundation to lay as a job seeker looking to get hired quickly? Right? What is the most important foundation to lay as a job seeker looking to get hired quickly? And yeah, so who's going to jump on this question?
Okay.
Okay,
Let me go
this
first.
one
Let
is
me
going
bite
first.
the. Let me drag the bull by the horns. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us in this session. Um, the question is, what is the most important foundation? So, for me,
Yeah.
I would say it's working on your mindset as a job seeker. For me, that is the most important foundation you can lay for yourself in order to get hired. You need to have a positive mindset. You need to come from an appreciation of your value, the value that you have to bring to an employer. And how do you develop that value. It takes you being self aware, you taking out time to research about the kind of job that you want, you taking out time to reflect on yourself, assessing your skills that you have, and noting your strengths and your weaknesses. And then you taking out time to refine yourself and come up with a profile that you can present to that employer. So I would say working on the mindset. I'll give an example. Just before this
Okay.
discussion started, my our colleague made a comment saying, "Recruiters, you guys have the destinies of people's lives in your hands." So, and I made a statement. I said that is a myth that actually needs to be
Corrected.
Yeah,
corrected.
yeah.
Recruiters do not have your destinies in their hands. You have your
Hmm.
destiny in your hand. So I always say that the real power belongs to those exceptional talents. Those are the ones with the real power. So you want to get a job, you have to be that exceptional person that will be hired. And how do you do that? You have to work on your mindset first, and then you work on the skills, and then everything flows from there. So that's
Wow,
just what
Yeah.
I'll
wow,
have to share.
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Jason, for sharing that with us. I think what I'd pick three key points from what you said. The first one is working on your mindset. I think it's critical. Sometimes you have candidates come and say, I beg, just help me. As in, this is my CV. Just help me now.
I
You're
want
a
a job.
recruiter now. You're working with FCMB. You're working with ABBA now. Just let me drop my CV now. It doesn't work like that, right? So you need to work on your mindset. You need to see that you're good enough,
Yes.
as a
You have
candidate applying
value.
for a job,
Yes.
and then understand your skill set, understand
And sorry,
what. Yeah, go ahead, AK. AK, you want to say something?
sorry. Yeah, I thought you had finished. I also wanted to add first things you
Okay, please
also
go
have
ahead.
to determine the type of career you so, okay, you also have to determine the type of career you want to go into. Most people, like you just said, they just want a job, and then just so if someone today is maybe customer service people to person, tomorrow the person is a teller somewhere. Next time the person is doing something else. You have to also decide, what do I want to do as
To
a career? Decide that. I wish I had decided that when I started working. I did not decide that. It
Fantastic.
was midway in my not even midway in my career, but it was earlier on in my career. I had after I'd started work as a customer service person that I
Wow.
now decided that what, I want to do something else. And then I started looking at, what do you want to do? That was when I decided I wanted to go into people management, and then human resources jumped at me, and that was how
Hmm.
my career started. So
Wow.
you have
Wow.
to decide first, what do I want to do, what career do I want to go into, and then from there you start moving, like Chisom had said, start working on your mindset, working on that your particular your profile on how you're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah. Yeah.
sell yourself to the employer, and all that based on that career path that you have chosen for yourself.
Wow. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having that as well, AK. Do you have anything to add, however me?
Yes.
Let's get your, yeah.
Okay. I mean, everybody has spoken well. I would just want to add that the important foundation that you should also lay is that you have to have a mindset that it's not just about your hard skills, your soft skills are also very
Hmm.
important.
Critical.
Because some people
Yeah.
just know that, okay, I'm good at the job, but there are other things that would make you stand out aside
Yeah.
just being good at the job. So let me use a technical talent as an example. Say maybe you're a very good software developer. It's not just your hard skills that will make you stand out, your soft skills,
Mm-hmm.
like how do you communicate, how well can you collaborate with the team, because you would not be working independently, you'll be working with other people. So you just have to keep it in mind that your hard skills and your soft skills is what is going to make you stand out.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for adding that. Art skills and really, over the years, speaking with candidates and all of that, I've come to discover that, of course, the narrative is changing now, right? A lot of candidates focus more on their hard skills. I'm a technical person, I'm an engineer, and then I'm good with this. And then we discover that the model of hiring, is changing. So Employers are not just looking for someone with the hard skills alone, but they're also looking out for someone with someone that has soft skills as well, great communication skills, emotional intelligence. How well can you relate to the team members? How well can you take initiatives and all of this? So critical, right? So that's a very critical point you've just raised there, Ayomide. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for contributing to the first questions. I'm going through the comment box already, and then we already we have loads of questions already, and then I'm still seeing comments like I need a job or I need a job. You guys just calm down, right? Easy, easy, easy. So just drop your questions and then we'll take our time to answer those questions. So this leads me to the next question. And so the question is, we've highlighted areas where candidate needs to focus on, in order for them to be well equipped to landing their dream job or to getting hired, quickly. So it leads to the next question. So how can job seekers, properly communicate their values during a job search process? Right? How can they properly communicate their values? So I'm seeing this from two angles. So I want us to address from two angles. So the first angle is how do you communicate your values, let's say on your CV, and then in the course of interview, how do you also communicate this, right? So I would like also um, approach it from those two angles. Yeah, yeah. Do you get the question?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great, great.
Okay.
Eh,
If you don't mind, let
I
me
think AK
go.
should go first. Okay.
Okay, all right. So, in terms of communicating your values, I mean, I will take it that you already know those values anyway. And how do you get those values? Get those values from experiences that you've had. You've leveraged it, so you're going to leverage on your experiences. I mean, I think I know they say past performance can be determined. I mean, sorry, future performance will determine past is an indicator of past performance. So, and those are embedded in your experiences. So, you need to be articulate in your, in how you need to be very very articulate, especially when it comes to your CV. You need to really really state your experiences and your values and what and how you have done it in your CV properly. And then when you get to interviews, and I always tell people, I have a cousin that is always on my case every time she has a little interview. Oh, you need to coach me and all that. So I always say that the technique is just to use the STAR method. The STAR method
Hmm.
works perfectly for everybody.
Wow.
So you start with the situation. What's the situation? Describe the
Fantastic.
situation. And then you now go to the action, you now go to the action, speak about the action. What was the action about? I'm sorry, you go to, sorry, you start with the situation, and then you go to the task. The
The
task,
task.
what was it? What is it that you were asked to do? And you remember you're working towards a goal. And then you go to the action. What did you actually do? And then you end with the result. That's always the perfect, because you see, it goes in a chronological path, like a process. So that is always the best way when you are in an interview and you have questions to answer. Always use that method to arrange your thoughts and articulate your value properly. That's what I think.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Okay, Chisom, you want to add to
Yes,
that?
yes. So excellent contribution, AK. So because to communicate your value, excuse me, to an employer, you need to have first studied the job description, especially in the ad that was put out or the ad that you saw. You need to have studied it to be able to understand who exactly are these people looking for. Okay, who exactly do they want to hire? And after studying it, then you reflect on yourself. What are those skills that I have that are a match for, who they are looking out for?
Yeah,
After
yeah.
identifying those skills, you then need to be able to, like Eke said, properly organize it in your CV, highlight those skills in the CV. Many people will look at a job description, for instance, that says, oh,
Hmm.
we're looking for someone who is exceptional with, say they're hiring for a HR role. They say they're
Yeah,
looking out for someone who is exceptional with HRIS, must have used perhaps Zoho or one of the other tools.
yeah.
And you know that you have used those tools. and then you don't go ahead to state it on your CV or even communicate it at the interview stage, you may have missed it, because you need to be able to echo those specific skills, those specific requirements that the job description speaks to when you're trying to present yourself for a role. You need to be able to
Fantastic.
echo those, because of
Fantastic.
course if you have not done that, then they're likely to overlook you, especially at the CV
Fantastic.
screening process.
Thank you so much for that, Chisom. Ayobami, do you have any contributions?
Yes, I'd also like to add that you need to be interested in the job. So it's not just about there is a
Sure.
position. Are you interested in it? Have you had experience working in a related field? Because a lot of people just see job openings and they just apply. They are not really interested. They don't really know what it entails. So you have to be sure that it's a part or it's a position that you're interested in, because it's really important. Along the line, it might be difficult, but being interested in the position from start is really key. So that's what I'm just going to add. Don't just apply because you want to apply. Apply because you're interested in
Potential.
actually working.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the contributions. Once again, shout out to the guys. I'm seeing someone join all the way from Amsterdam. We have participants from Abuja, from Port Harcourt, Kano, of course, Lagos, on in this session. Thank you guys for joining. And so I'm going to the comment box, and I have a question I would like us to take. So this question goes. My first question is, what effect is it to working experience with diploma and a fresher with BSc, because of recruiter employ freshers and decline diploma holder that has experience for like 10 years? So I think what this person is trying to clarify is the discrimination between a BSc holder and a diploma holder. So you have a diploma holder with 10 years work experience, and then you have a fresher with a BSc, little or no work experience. However, recruiters would still go ahead and engage a fresher with BSc. So I would like us to respond to that question. I want to believe it's not so true, but what's our take on that?
Okay, I'll take it. I just think that you need to study job descriptions. A lot of people do not study job descriptions. For every role, the organization has a particular criteria that you need to meet, or a particular set of criteria that you need to meet to be able to be considered for such a role. So if the job ad says, okay, we want a bachelor's degree holder, for whatever reason, organizations have their specific structure and requirements for various jobs. So if the role says a bachelor degree minimum is a
Mm-hmm.
requirement, if you have a diploma, you must have that bachelor's degree to be considered for the role. So you cannot say, oh, I have
True.
10 years experience in this role, why are you not considering me? They had initially stated that a bachelor's degree is the minimum. So you need to be able to study it and apply accordingly. So, and if
Okay.
it's an entry level role, they're not likely to look at someone that has 10 years experience, because they've stated it's an entry
Exactly.
level role. Yes. So you need to be able to
Exactly.
study it and make sure that you meet most of the criteria, not all of them, but most of them, the important ones. And that's what will improve your chances.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Especially the
Fantastic.
yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Iki. You wanted to add something.
No, I was going to add saying especially the essential one, essential this thing,
Yes. The
skills that they are looking
essential
for, the content
requirements.
that they're looking for. So that's the one that you have to, look very well. I agree totally with you. So most job seekers don't read the job description. They don't read it well. I mean, organizations are different. They want what they want. Let me put it that way. They
Exactly.
want what they
Exactly.
want. An organization says, I want BSc holders. So I would advise, why don't you try? There's some schools that do 1 year BSc, because joint with us. So you have to try and get that qualification and add to it. And also, like she also said, you can't be 10 years we can't come with 10 years experience and wanting to do, a job for a fresh person out of school. So that is it's very different. You need to be reading the job description, and also, like I always say, try to add value to yourself. Where you see the world is going this way, you have to also try and follow the world in that way. Pre-COVID, the skills we needed pre-COVID is not what we need now post-COVID. So everybody's trying to, skill up in some way. So
Exactly,
please try
exactly.
and
Thank you so
skill up.
much. Thank you so much for that. So pretty much there is no discrimination, um, as they've
There is.
mentioned. It's just based on the job requirements, and then the recruiters try to get candidates with that skill set or someone with the right profile that matches the requirements, right? So there is, even if you're a diploma and then you have other requirements, of course, and if it's stated that HND, BSc, or diploma can apply, why not? Recruiters will reach out to you definitely. So there's this other question as well. I would like us to just treat this real quick. We won't waste too much time on this. So someone is asking, skills and academic qualification, which do recruiters look at first? I think I'm going to direct these questions to Ayobami. Skills and academic qualifications, which do recruiters look at first?
Okay, I think I would answer that skills, because the skill is needed for the job. Yes, you've attended
Exactly.
university, yes, you've gone to school, yes, your education is on your resume, but the skill is what you're going to be implementing while working.
On the job.
Just like say
Exactly.
you studied microbiology in the university and you're applying for a customer relationship management position. Nobody's going to come and ask you to start working on organisms or doing lab work when you're at the office. Yeah, so they would ask you, what relationship skills do you have? How can you communicate? Those are the important skills that are needed for the job. So on your resume as a recruiter, your skill is what we're looking for. Your education is an added advantage to say, okay, this person is knowledge, this person has gone to school, but your skill is what you'll be using on the job. So that is what we look at.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
That's
fantastic.
big.
Thank you so much, Ayomide. So I have this question. So this question keeps reoccurring over and over again. So someone is asking from the chat box. So I feel I should read it out. So I think in our live sessions we keep getting these questions over and over again, and I think it's just important for us to like put it out there for job seekers. They just need to understand the dynamics around it and how it works. So I'm going to read out the question. So someone is asking, I would like to ask, I would like to know why experience is a base criteria for a job. You have a fresh professional certification, etc. So if those with experience are not given chances in one organization, then how will they find them? So what this person is trying to say is, as against looking out for experienced candidates all the time, why not also give, you know, fresh guy just out of NYC a chance to also build their experience? They have the right professional certification there and there, but they just need a chance, right, to build, to acquire experience and all that. So I would like us to respond to this question. So the question is more like, recruiters are always going out for experienced candidates and all of that, while um, uh, the freshers or those that are just leaving NYC are struggling to, you know, enter the corporate world. So who will take this? I
Yes,
just
I'll
think we
go.
need to we
Okay.
need to clarify this and how it works. Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
Chisel.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So one thing that is a huge advantage to job seekers in today's world is the fact that you have access to information. That is a
True.
huge deal. Gone are the days when you would have to go and buy Tuesday newspaper to search for jobs and all of that. Today you have it at your fingertips, literally. You just need to know where to look to get this information. So if you are a job seeker, I'll always say you need to be intentional about finding a job for yourself. It lies on you, literally. So what do? You need to ensure that you are where the information will be. If you're on Twitter, Twitter is a powerhouse. Twitter is a powerhouse. You
Exactly.
go there,
Honestly.
I
there's
agree.
so much, a lot of people are there literally sowing threads about how to find a job, where to look. So go on Twitter, follow the thought leaders there. Go on LinkedIn. There's so many people out there giving out information, and this information is free. You don't have to pay for it
Yeah.
most of the time. So there are organizations posting out ads for graduate trainee positions, entry level positions, lots and lots of openings out there. So if you have zero experience, you can apply for these roles. That is a good way to start, because at the end of the day, you need to
Yeah.
start somewhere. You cannot be looking at a role that has placed a specification of 5 years experience and saying, why are you not considering me for it? It's not likely to work that way. So what you need to do is know where to look for the information that that you need to be able to source those, find those roles
Yeah,
that
yeah,
cater to your level of
Yeah.
experience. And I've mentioned a few of the tools that you can use instead of following people that are just talking about trivialities, the latest show, the latest fashion, the latest scandal. Follow thought leaders, follow people who will be sharing resources that you can utilize to
Exactly.
find that information. Thank you.
fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Chisom. Okay, do you have anything to add to that question?
Before she spoke, I was going to say that there are jobs for people who are just
Entry
starting, and then
level,
there are jobs for
definitely,
experienced people. Like she said, you just
definitely,
need to know where to look. So you need to
exactly,
follow, go on LinkedIn. There are people who advertise job. If I work in First Bank,
Definitely.
whenever we are doing something for graduate trainees, we put it out there. When we are doing something for experienced hires, we put it out there. So there is nothing like, oh, there's discrimination. We are only looking
exactly,
for experience.
exactly.
How are we going to bring in fresh ideas? We need you to come in with fresh perspectives. Well, that's
Absolutely
what
spot on.
organizations are built on. So just know where to look, follow people, follow good recruiters, and just you will find something.
Exactly, spot on, spot on. Thank you so much for that, AK. So, guys, there are job opportunities for entry level professionals who are looking for their big break, into the corporate world, and then, of course, there are job
Yes.
opportunities for mid-level professionals and as well as C-level professionals as well. And then, of course, we need fresh ideas. We've had conversations around millennials and Gen Zs, and we have lots of organizations looking to bring in young blood, quote and unquote, right?
Yeah,
System.
exactly.
So it is not a discrimination that because you don't have XYZ years of experience, you don't get an opportunity. No, and internet is your friend, Google is your friend. You can literally acquire skills and certifications on the go, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I would also like to state this that this is why Jobberman is there for you. We currently have an ongoing campaign that is currently catering to job seekers with
Entry level.
0 to 3 years of experience, entry level, pretty much. And then we can tell you for free that you will find many entry level job opportunities on our platform, on Jobman's platform. So all you need to do is create a profile. Just go on jobberman.com, create a job seeker profile on our platforms. Make sure that your profile is fully up to date. And trust me, from there, you start getting notifications on entry level opportunities that we have, right? So just take out your time and then make sure that your profile on jobberman.com, Jobberman platform is fully updated, and then you're good to go. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much so far. Thank you so much for your response. And guys, thank you for dropping your questions as well. I want to believe that we are learning a thing or two from what is being discussed, right? So I'm going through the comment box again, and I also have a few questions I would like to throw at us. And so I think there's this question I would like to ask. So, hello, everyone. Deciding a career path is essential, but you have to know what you are good at. I think you can know that on the job, my opinion. I'm here to learn. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is from Nancy. It's just a comment. Someone is joining from Ghana. Thank you for joining Audrey from Ghana. Um, and going through the comment box, just try to make sure that I take our questions. Someone commented, I have never gotten a job interview from you people since 5 years now. That is so bad. So that is why we are here. It's clear that there's probably something you are not doing right. That is not allowing your application to get through the door. And that is why we are here to sort out those information. If your profile is well tailored to the job you're applying for, I'm sure a recruiter will reach out to you and all of that. So it's not about throwing blames. I think it's about looking inward and trying to make sure that you do the right thing, right? And that is why we are here for
Yes,
you.
Dami, can I add something there?
Yes, please. Please go
So
ahead.
I have a secret. We're sharing insider secrets. So I have a secret for you if you're applying for roles. The key to standing a chance, or the key to uh probably getting a chance to be invited for an interview, lies in timing. Okay, you need to be able to apply for those roles as soon as they are advertised. If you wait a week, 2 weeks, a month,
Yeah.
and then you're applying, you're not likely to, you know,
Get it.
get invited for that interview. The truth is, especially for roles that are not niche, where specific skills are being sought,
Okay.
the earlier you apply, the higher your chances of getting invited for an interview. So that's
Okay. Okay.
again speaks to being informed at the right time. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you for adding that, Chisom. So there's this question on our screen. I graduated 4 years ago and was employed for 2 years. Should I still keep applying for entry level roles? So this person graduated 4 years ago and was employed for 2 years. And should I still keep applying for entry level roles? So from the question, I can tell that there's some sort of well, I wouldn't say career gap. I think 4 years ago, maybe one or two things and all of that didn't get the job on time, and then but so far so good. Let's say the person has like 2 years proper work experience. So should this person still keep applying for entry level roles or probably consider mid level and all? Yeah. Hi Bami. Would you like
Okay.
to take that?
Yes. So what I would say is within those 2 years of working, how what experience have you gained? Have you gained a lot of experience? Have you worked on certain projects? Have you been able to develop a lot of skills? Because there are people who have worked for 2 years and they've gotten a lot of knowledge, and there are
Hmm.
people who had worked for 4 years and they don't have a lot of knowledge. So I'm going to use an example from the technical part. So say
Hmm.
you are a developer, you might be a developer with 2 years of experience, but you've worked on different products, you've worked on different projects, and they are live for users to use. And you might be a 4 years experienced developer and you've not worked on certain products. Like you are just working
True.
on different products, nothing is out for users to use. I would
Wow.
say that the years of experience do not really matter. It just depends on how much have you gained, how much knowledge have you gained,
Hmm.
Right.
what can you do.
Can you do?
That is
Fantastic.
what is going to determine. So, except if the job you're applying for specifically states that you have to be 4 years of experience or you have to be 2 years of experience, that is when you say, okay, maybe I'm not going to apply for this job, or maybe that's when you say I need to apply for entry level. But if it is not specifically stated, your skill is what is going to differentiate you from the other people. So don't limit yourself to applying for only level jobs because you have 2 years of experience,
Wow.
except the job
Fantastic.
description says otherwise.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Ayomide. Yeah. Chisom, you want to add something to that?
No, I think she's done. She's done a good job
Okay.
on that.
Okay. So it's pretty clear. We also need to understand where the current trend in in the talent market. Or we need to understand the current trend. Post COVID, right? A lot has happened, and it's really not much about the years of experience that you have, but the quality of experience. So one of our thought leaders in HR, once posted something on social media that if you're doing a job for 3 years and it's you're doing the same thing over and over again for 3 years, all that means is that you've gathered just 1 year's experience, right? So don't say, okay, I keep doing accounting and reconciliation and all of that, and if you're doing that for 3 years or 2 years, for instance, but you haven't upskilled, you've not learned data analytics, you've not done all of that, it's almost as as safe as saying that you have just 2 years experience, even though you've gathered like 4 years. And then you have someone with 2 years work experience, and this person has worked on different projects, right? This person has been exposed to different projects. So for with that kind of exposure and the quality of experience that this person has gathered, it's easier for the person to apply for a a senior level role. So it's, as I immediately rightly said, it's about the quality of experience, the quality of value. What exactly are you bringing to the table? And trust me, employers do not, they are not hiring you because of, for hiring you sake. They're hiring you because of what you can do, because of what you can deliver to the business, right? So that is how it works pretty much. And yeah, thank you guys. So next question, what is your view on recruiters asking what is the minimum salary you will settle for? So somebody is asking this question. Um, what is your view on recruiters asking what is the minimum salary you will settle for? I would like everybody to take this.
Okay. All right, I know. Yeah, so this is like a question that most job seekers would say, why are you asking me how much am I looking to get? Why are you asking me what my minimum range is? But I would
Exactly.
want the person asking this question to know that the reason why we ask what's your minimum salary is because there is a budget for the role, right?
Exactly.
We want to know if what you're expecting is within our budget. So I like that when I get on a call with a candidate or when I'm speaking to somebody about a job opening, I get to know what their expectations are. So I would say, can you give me a range of your expectation, at least the minimum? So what I'm trying to do is I want to know if you are within my budget. If you're within the budget of the job I'm recruiting for, I would let you know so that we can proceed. If you're not, I would let you know, okay, what your minimum is higher than what the budget for the role is. Are you willing to proceed? Let me know. So it's when a recruiter is asking you what your minimum salary, we're not trying to put you in the box, or we are not trying
Exactly.
to not make
Exactly.
you get higher pay. We just want to know if you're like in our budget for this position so we can proceed. Because going through the process and when you get to the final stage, they're offering you a salary that is not within the expectation. It's like a waste of time on both parties' end. So if
Exactly.
a recruiter asks you that question, feel free to let them know that this is my minimum salary. However, I am open to discussion.
Yes, Ayabami,
Okay,
that's
great.
really great. Yes, I want to also add um that, okay, take for instance, or look at, imagine this scenario. You as a candidate, you proceed through several interviews, 4 or 5 interviews, and at the end of the day they make you an offer that is ridiculous to you. How would you feel? So that's why, it's important to set those expectations ab initio, to know exactly what you're looking out for in terms of salaries, so as you know so that you can know whether the process will be worth your while or not.
Okay, 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 great. Okay, do you want to add one or two things to that as
No,
well?
no, they both said everything because that's really it. I mean, you don't want to be wasting the recruiter's time, and you don't
Wasting
also
your
want to
own
be
time.
wasting your own time.
Exactly.
So let's
Exactly.
just know what we are expecting at the end of the day.
So it's a harmless question. The recruiter is not trying to like play on your intelligence or shoot you in the leg, right? It's just to be sure that your expectation sort of aligns with the client's budget and all of that, pretty much. So there's this question for Chisom. Is there a thing as career path planning and commitment? In this country where you get a job and before you know it, there are other ad hoc things added to you, and then you are stuck in one position for years. And another opportunity comes up in another kind of job with better pay and prospect for growth. How do I stick to career path when hunger is real and I'm not growing? Do you
Okay.
get the question? Do you
Yes,
get
I
the
think.
question, Chisom?
Yes, I do. I do. I,
Okay,
I,
okay, okay.
and I completely understand where he's coming from. But at the end of the day, you need to weigh your priorities. Do you want to pursue your passion, in quote, your career, your dream career, or do you want the money? at the end of the day, you have to make a choice. Okay.
Yeah.
And I understand that in Nigeria it's difficult because most people, first of all, they study what they study something that they were never interested in, and then the
Yeah.
first job you take after that most likely is just, oh, I just want to land a job, something to start, generating income for me. It's not necessarily what I want to do as a career, but it's good that you start early to decide for yourself, what you want to do with your life. Do I just want to make money, or do I want to live a meaningful life, make an impact, through the job that I do? And those are the things that would determine, which way you go. And then what I would advise is, whatever job you're in, don't just relax and say, oh, I've landed a job and just
Hmm.
remain on one level. You have to keep learning, you have to keep
Exactly.
growing, you have to keep improving on yourself. Take for instance the tech ecosystem. Ayobami is there, and I'm sure that you can testify that there's so many people that have been transiting from different careers into tech, right? You see some people that have been in the bank for years, they just sit down at home, they found out that, oh, I have a flair for this software development, and I start taking courses. There are free YouTube courses they take, free other course I mean free courses
Absolutely.
on other platforms, and then they acquire this skill, and then they start taking freelance jobs, you know, on Upwork and the likes. And before you know it, they have become tech gurus and they land the big jobs. So for you, if you're feeling stuck in a particular career, I think you just need to start upskilling yourself, acquire a new skill, learn something new, especially in that area that you feel that you're interested in, and try to grow from there. So career path is a thing, but it's actually quite challenging to do in Nigeria given our peculiar circumstances. But it's doable. You just have to be able to weigh your priorities and make a choice.
Okay. 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 Great. Thank you, Chisholm.
Can
Eke wants
I?
to add so that. Okay.
Yes, yes, I want to add to that. So I was just going to give an example of myself. So I had told you that earlier on in my career, I started with customer service and all that. So when
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
decided that I wanted to do human resources, so I had to go do a master's. And then when I came back, I got offers to come back into the customer service role, and it was paying
Hmm.
higher. It was in the bank. However, I knew what I wanted, and I knew
Hmm.
that the best way to start my human resource career would be in a consulting firm. So I got on my laptop then it was all these internet centers,
Yeah.
got there
Yeah.
and wrote emails to all the consulting firms I knew, local and international. And I was so happy that one of the consulting firms reached out. The money was not as fantastic as what I got for customer service officer
Fantastic.
in a bank, but I was like, no, this is what. So you need to decide on your what do you want to do, and
Yeah.
then if the
Yeah.
career path is what you want to do, stay the course. It always pays, and learn while you're on that road. Don't just sit down and say, this is my career, the HR is my career path. You don't learn any other thing. You just be doing one thing, data entry. When when you start work in whatever profession, the first thing you do is data entry. So you sit down there and be doing that. You need to upskill so that you can move. It will pay off in the end. Just stick to
Yes.
it if that's your passion.
Yes, and Eke
Thank
made
you.
a very valid point. There will be sacrifice involved. Yes, in her case, she had to,
Exactly.
there will be sacrifice. You may take a pay cut or something. Like I also did that in the course of my
Exactly.
career when I was transiting from banking to HR. So you just have to weigh the pros and the cons and,
And the pros and the
decide
cons.
on what you
Thank
want.
you, guys. Thank you so much for the contribution. Wow, how time flies when you are having fun, right? And so I have a question for AK, but before I read out the question, there's a comment in the chat box I would like to quickly respond to. So someone is saying that um, is it sorry, one sec. Okay. Companies are not always looking for fresh graduates. I wonder where they expect us to gather experience if they won't accept us. So I think we've already treated this already. And I'd also like to chip this in that if you do not have any experience whatsoever, you can start by volunteering. You can start by interning, right? This is like the surest way. The money might not start coming in as against your counterparts in the bank entry level earning hundreds of thousands, but you can grow from there, and then you can scale up. So there are lots of opportunities, right? So volunteering is there, interning. A lot of corporate organizations are looking for interns. You can just volunteer without expecting anything in return, but over time you're going to gather experience and skills, and then you can scale up from there. So there are a lot of opportunities, and we just have to be more proactive as against just being reacting, right? So that's pretty much what I would say on that. So it's not true. Companies are not always looking for experienced hires. Some companies are looking for fresh graduates as well. So this question is directed to AK. So the question is, can you please explain in details the STAR approach to job hunting? Can you please explain in details the STAR approach to job hunting? I think you had mentioned that in the course of your,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe not in detail, but just a clear picture of
Okay.
how it works. Yeah,
Okay, so the STAR approach is usually used in responding to questions during interviews. So it gives you a very clear, systematic way of putting down your thoughts and what you have done. So, like I said, the S in the STAR stands for situation. So you start with the situation. What when no recruiters ask you a question, tell me about a time when you were able to do this and do that. So the best way to respond to just that question is to use the STAR approach. Start with the S, which is situation. What
yeah,
was this? What situation are you going to be? Describe that situation, and then you go straight to the T, which is the task. What task was involved and what was the goal for which you were embarking on that task? And then you move to the A, which is action. What action? What did you do? What were the things that you did? You and your team, you people did data, or you gathered data on this, you researched, you do this. What was the act? That's the action. And then at the end, you end with the result. So at the end of the day, this was the result we got. We did this, we took it to management, management approved, now it's been implemented, everybody's enjoying it and all that. That's the result, that's the conclusion. So that's the STAR approach to responding to questions.
fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you so much for that, AK. We still have lots of questions, and looking at our time, we might not be able to take all your questions, but trust me, we would still compile them and then treat them in our next session. All right. So there's this other question I would like us to treat. Um, so I think this is also a frequent question that we get on the show. So someone is saying, for a graduate with little or no experience in HR but has theoretical knowledge of it, how can I go about getting hired? Or how can I go about breaking into HR? Right? Yeah. So Ivan, I'd like you to respond to this question. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'll just use myself as an example. So before I actually got a job, I had taken a certification in human resource. So I had done the human resource what's it called? It's a particular course in human resource. I hadn't gotten a job, but
CIPM?
I was just PHRI. Yes.
PHRI. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I was just fresh out of NYSC. I was trying to get a job, and I was like, okay, I can't just be sitting at home. Let me do something. I took the course for like 3 months, and after the course, or while still taking the course, I got an application. What helped me to build my resume, aside from the fact that I had done internship and I had volunteer, was the what I was able to learn. Because while taking the course, I was taking the course with senior colleagues that were already practicing, and they were like actual case studies. They were like smaller teams tasks that we were meant to do. So what I had learned during the process of taking that course was what I used during my resume and during the interview. So they asked me, "Have you done this?" I mentioned to them that I have not done this in a professional working space, but amongst my team, I have done this, I have done that. What I'm just looking for right now is the opportunity to practicalize the things that I have learned. And that was how I got the job. So I had taken a course. I was just looking for the opportunity to put into practice what I've been learning. So you can not have a job, but you can take a course. So there are people, I'm going to use like a technical example right now. There are people learning UI design. They are not working with
Yes, on Twitter.
they are not working with a company, but they are just creating designs from their head to say, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
built this. Can you people check this? Can you let me know what you think? When the person is actually applying for a job, the links to all the projects that the person has worked on
Will be
can be put
stated.
into the resume.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would give you an opportunity because you've done something. You are not just learning, but you are practicalizing what you've learned.
Exactly.
And that is what they need. That is the skill set. You won't just come and
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, I've learned this. What have you done with what you've
Done with
learned?
it.
So I think exactly. I hope that
And
answers the
All,
like,
person's question.
all right.
and
Thank you for that,
Damilare, you
Ayobami.
mentioned, yeah. And Damilare, you mentioned something about volunteering. You can
Yeah.
always volunteer. You can always be an intern. You can start that way. If you've done the course, come back, volunteer, get the experience, and you move from there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, AK. Yeah, so this is 12:53. I think we've got a few more minutes to round up the session. I would also like to reiterate that we have lots of job opportunities on our Jobberman platform from entry level to mid to senior level. And all you need to do is to complete your profile on our platform, and you are good to go. All right. And so next question. Um, okay, so I can see on the screen, doesn't matter how much experience you have, if you are applying for for a field you know little or nothing about, you have to apply as an entry level staff. Doesn't matter how much experience. Okay, okay. So these are just comments. So let me look out for another question from the comment section. Okay, so let me ask this question. So how can job seekers channel their networking skills towards the process of getting a job? So I think there's a lot of conversations around networking, and then some are like, you know what, I've tried all these things, but it's still not working. So, but how can they channel their networking skills towards the process of getting a job?
Okay. So I think I have something to say there, or I have something to say there. Okay. A lot of people reach out to recruiters on LinkedIn or elsewhere asking for mentorship, asking, oh, can you be my mentor and all that. The truth is, many people may not have that time, except someone has specifically put out an ad to say, oh, I'm willing to mentor 5 to 10 people for 3 months. Please reach out to me, if you're interested in this. Except they've put out that ad. Most times when you reach out to people that way, they may not have that time to take you on.
Hmm.
Okay. So what do you do? What do you do? The truth is, and I'll go back to what I said earlier, there is so much information out there that you can get for free, you know, um, speaking to whatever topic or whatever your need is, in terms of professional advice. Okay, so you just need to know where to find it. There are lots of people putting out posts regularly on LinkedIn, or having articles or newsletters that they publish that speak
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
particular topics that may interest you. On LinkedIn, there's so many people that put out threads every single day on particular topics. You can just learn from there. You don't need someone actually holding your hand, having one-on-one sessions with you.
Exactly.
And then by the time you start engaging these people on what they have written, perhaps you send them a message, you say, oh, I read this that you said so, and I've applied it, and this is the outcome. You start developing a relationship with that person. That is what will
Absolutely.
open the door to for you, for so many other, for jobs, for mentorship and the likes. But you need to have built that relationship over time. You cannot just jump into
Definitely.
someone's DM and say, oh,
Definitely.
I want to.
No,
Okay,
so
so
really
that's
it's
networking. Really, networking is about
yeah,
getting to know people and then building relationships with them that are mutually
exactly.
beneficial. So you must be
Exactly.
giving something to be getting something. That is what networking is all about.
That's how it
And then you need
works.
to, yes, you need
Absolutely.
to know where to,
So not like
where
you
to.
just slide into my DM and then you just share your CV with me. Hello, please, I would like you to
Yeah,
help me get a job.
a
This
job.
here's my CV.
Yes. Yes,
You
and
don't
that's
need
Some
to
don't
another
do
even
that.
myth.
some don't even write anything. They
They
just
They
don't
don't,
post
they
even
it
they
just
just
slam
there.
it. Yes, that
you
is
just
another
slam it
myth.
there.
Yes, a recruiter's
So
job
it
is
puts off
not.
the recruiter. Yeah. Go
Yes, a
ahead, Chisom.
recruiter's job is not to get you a job. That's where people have got it wrong. The recruiter's job is not to find you
Miss
a
it.
job, except they're in agency where, okay, they take on candidates and they have a pipeline for their
Yeah.
clients, but their major focus is filling the roles that their clients have given to them as a brief. So that's the
Absolutely.
recruiter's, yes, that's the
Thank you so
recruiter's
much
job.
for that, Chisom. So there's this question I also like us to treat because of our time. I think I've got like two more questions, and so that we can wrap up in quick time. Uh, so this question, as a recruiter, what are the things you consider to be a red flag in a candidate? As a recruiter, what are the things you consider to be a red flag in a candidate?
Okay.
Ayobami.
Yes, I would like to answer that because I saw a question pop up to say if you're looking to get experience, you have to keep switching jobs. So I would say that
Hmm.
job hopping is a red
No.
flag.
Wow.
So I know that a lot of people would say I'll spend 6 months here, then I'll move and then spend another 3 months. I'm just trying to
You
gather
know,
knowledge. You
gather
might be trying
knowledge.
to gather knowledge, but in the end, you're maybe shooting yourself in the leg. Because as a recruiter, what I'm looking out for is recruiting process is is taxing, right? And when I fill a position, I am not looking to go back to that process in less than 6 months.
Exactly.
I am not looking
Hmm.
to go through that process within 3 months. So one thing people do not know, I'm speaking specifically to tech talent right now because a lot of them, a lot of
Our
them
tech
switch jobs
bros.
for
Yes.
a
Tech
lot of them switch
bros,
jobs
what's
for
this?
different reasons. Some switch jobs for the money, which is great, but then again, you have to be realistic with yourself. If you are looking to grow far, you have to learn how to stay. You cannot get a job to work with a company that is building a product and you join them for 3 months and you will leave because you got
Exactly.
another offer that is paying you more. Why did you accept
Hmm.
the job in the first time?
The first
Why
place.
not just be a freelancer? If you're a freelancer, nobody's going to
Absolutely.
hold you to you live here, you go to another place. But if you are joining a company full time, at least what I would advise is spend a year in a company. That way, you have gathered knowledge. You might want to try out another industry. Maybe you're working in the fintech and then you want to try out edtech. When you're going to edtech, they want to know what you've even done in the fintech. They want to know how long you
Yeah.
stayed there.
Yeah.
They want to know what you've learned that you can come and contribute to them in the edtech. So really, job hopping is like a red flag. It is a big red flag. Another thing is the fact that you cannot explain your previous work experience, and that also leads to job hopping. So say you've worked with a company for 3 months and you're moving to another job, they would ask you, what did you do? If you are placed in 3 months, your onboarding is part of it, trying to settle down is part of it. So what have you learned?
Hmm.
You will not be
Exactly.
able to explain what you've learned.
Absolutely.
And then you're looking for another job. So those are some of the red flags, but I'll just hold on there. Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you
Yes,
so much for
yes.
that, Ayomide. I think you've pretty much captured it.
Yeah.
Capture
Awesome. Yes.
uh,
And then, yes,
that.
and then I'll just add, when someone does not put in the effort to put their
Hmm.
best foot forward, for me, it's a red flag because the application process alone tells you whether this candidate is, a great candidate. The effort that they put in to the application process. Take, for instance, you're required to send your CV and a cover letter to a particular email or apply via LinkedIn, that the person did not take the time to properly construct an introductory message to
Yeah.
highlight
Yeah.
the value that they would be bringing. To me, it's a red flag. It just tells me you're not great, and you don't stand out for me. And also, when there's a lot of grammatical errors, it just tells me you're a sloppy person. And then when you do copy
Really.
and paste on your CV, you just copy all the
Exactly.
experiences you had in ABC company, just copy it and paste it in BYZ company. It's also a red flag for me. And then
And
when the dates, for instance, your experience, the chronology doesn't flow, the dates are always, I mean, contradictory. Oh, you said you worked January 2021 to January 2022 somewhere, and then somewhere else the dates are still saying January to May.
Exactly.
It just tells me that there's something a little bit off. And then I wanted
off.
to also emphasize on what Ayobami said. For tech people, yes, we noticed that quite a number of them have brief stints at various organizations, but
Hmm.
usually
They do.
it
Yeah.
only makes sense when they're actually contracts that you
Yeah.
perhaps completed and then moved on to another organization. But just jumping um up on and off a
I
job,
go.
it doesn't speak to you being a very serious or responsible person.
Person.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Chisom. Just to add one more thing as well. Ensure that your CV is well formatted, right? If you're using
Matter.
font type, let's say Calibri, you keep to that
Keep
all
it
through. So not
simple.
like
Keep it
there's a
simple.
part of your CV that is Calibri, there's another part that is showing Times News Romance, there's another part
Frutigan.
that
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are basic.
Oh, Ayabami is gone. Sorry,
Oh,
Damilare.
Damilari.
is
Sorry,
Yes.
showing
Damilare is
Montana or
gone.
something like that. Let's you need to come across well, right? Just from your CV,
Yes.
we've not seen your face one on one, but from your CV, let's see you as someone that, okay, you know what? I would like to
Exactly.
have a chat with this person. So yeah, so those are the red flags. And so I've got one more question, and then we two more questions, then we'll wrap up the session. So this question is: how do you decide when candidates to hire? How do you decide
Okay, yes. I'm sure he'll be back shortly.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I can take that question. I think I got what he was trying to say. How do you decide the candidate to hire? Okay. So of course, after the interview process has gone on, the candidate has, I mean, some people might have been identified as meeting the competency level required for any role. Okay, they have the right skills, they have the right experience, and they've gotten to the final stage where, okay, it's time to make a hiring decision. At this point, usually, what may tip the balance in your favor usually comes down to the soft skills. Okay, it
Yeah.
comes down to what extra thing does this person bring to the table, and it comes down to the person that is deemed to have, I mean, to fit the organization in quotes culturally, the
Exactly.
person that would come in and become, like one of us, or would easily adapt to our environment. Okay, so the person for me that would probably be picked is someone that goes above and beyond to demonstrate that I really want this.
This
I'm
job.
passionate about it. It aligns with my goals, both short term and long term. Someone that demonstrates that they are self led, that they can do things, take initiative, they can also lead, they can improve the members of their team and bring them up to, you know, a higher level of performance. Someone that is not comfortable with mediocrity, and you show that at that interview stage. I think those are the things that would tip the skill in your favor. And then someone that demonstrates, okay, that they can learn, really fast. They've shown it over and over in their career that they step up to responsibility. Even if it's something I've not done before, I'm able to quickly learn it and deliver on it. I think those are the things that would help.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I had
okay?
written that down. I agree with you on that. So
Yes.
welcome, Damilare.
Okay,
Welcome,
thank you
Dami.
so much, guys. Apologies.
Yes.
Chisom have
my
taken the
network
Yes,
messed
so I
up.
already yes, I
sorry
already
about
Okay.
answered. I think I got where you were
the
going.
question.
Okay, so I think we are supposed to wrap up now, and
Yes.
I'll just ask one more question, then we'll wrap up. So the question once again is, what skills are essential for job seekers to highlight on their CVs, and what skills make job seekers employable? Right. So this is going to be the final question
Okay.
before we wrap up. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we get the question?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me go with that. Let me take that. So different organizations have different skill set that they are looking for. So, however, we have to note that the skills that we needed when pre-COVID has changed drastically. Now there are different skills that we are now looking for. So some of the skills that you need to highlight post-COVID is digital skills. It has to be there. And then you need consultative skills, because employers will want to see that you're approaching
Hmm.
problems from the consultative point of view. So problem
Yeah.
solving
Yeah.
kind of view, for to explain it. Good communication pre-COVID, post-COVID is still relevant. Interpersonal skills, you can see the world is now global, the world of
Yeah.
work is now
Yeah.
global. People are moving from to different places internationally, so you need to be able to show that you are able to interact with people from different different places, diverse, what was diversity and inclusion. You need to be
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
do it, that
Yeah.
you're able to interact with people. Of course, analytical and critical thinking, it's very important in the world of work that we are in now. So it's good to highlight all those skills.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that,
Fantastic.
AK.
Okay.
Chisom, you
Yes.
want to jump on that?
Yes, and of course, you must not forget that you need to also highlight that those specific skills that the employer is looking for, you need to highlight them on your CV as well. Because
Exactly.
if they want you to be able to use a particular software or tool and you fail to mention it on your CV, I mean, they may, overlook you. So you need to
Exactly.
speak to those specific skills that they have highlighted in the job description and highlight them on your CV if you have those skills.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much,
Thank
Chisom.
you.
Thank you, AK. Thank you, Ayomide. Ayomide is not on the call currently. And
Ayobami.
so
No,
just Ayobami. So just to reiterate again, guys, so we have lots of job opportunities on Jobberman platforms, and
man.
all you need to do is to complete your profile on our platform. Just type jobberman.com, and then you can set up your profile, just by one click. We've got job opportunities from entry level to mid level to senior level to C level, pretty much. So, and then of course, I'm very sure that the bulk of participants that we have are entry level guys, or guys that are looking to also scale up as well. So we've got lots of opportunities for you. However, it's critical for you to complete your profile on our platform. Then you would have access in real time to these opportunities. Thank you guys once again for joining the call. I sincerely apologize. I couldn't take all the questions in the chat box. However, we will address all of that. We're going to compile everything together, and then it will be treated in our next session. We trust that you've learned a thing or two from today's session. Thank you guys for the comment.
Thank you.
Take your time, sign up on our platforms, and you will be home and dry. Trust me, you're just going to be fine. So I also want to thank our speakers as well, for taking our time out of their busy schedule to be a part of this session. And then I'm also thanking the moderator as well for doing a great job. So
Thank
thank
you.
you
That's
guys once again. Thank you,
Thank
AK. Thank you, Chisom.
you.
And then see
Thank
you
you.
guys next time. Take care, everyone. And
thank
cheers.
you. Thank
Bye,
you
Thank
everyone.
you.
everyone for joining.
Bye.
Thank you, AK,
Bye.
and bye. Have
Thank
a
you,
Bye.
pleasant
Chiso.
day.
Thank you, Damla. Bye.
Bye.